Hello students, um, my name is Manimugdha, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, Assam Downtown University, specifically from Social Work Program. Today we will discuss about uh, various concepts of urbanization, okay, cities, towns, exurbs, suburbs. So in the last class we have already discussed about urban communities, and most of you will know what is urban and what is rural, right? So let's see what is urbanization today. So we'll discuss mostly on concepts and causes. So first, to introduce, as we all know that urban and rural are two different things. Urban refers to a process which envisages land settlement, agglomeration of diversities, complete transformation of economy from agriculture to industrial, commercial sectors coming in, wider political civic life, and they are dependent on institutions of modern living. So the urban society is basically heterogeneous, as we all know and we have studied. It is known for its diversity and complexity, and it is dominated by mostly second relations. Well, urban society is very far away from nature and natural environment, as we have seen, and mass education is widespread in the city, and it's a complex multi-group society. So what is urbanization? So urbanization is the movement of population from rural to urban areas and resulting increasing proportion of a population that resides in urban rather than rural places, right? So basically it is the movement of population from rural to urban areas. It is derived from the Latin word urbs, which means city, according to Roman historians. Thomson Warren has defined urbanization as the movement of people from communities concerns chiefly or solely with agriculture to other communities, generally larger, whose activities are primarily centered in government, trade, manufacture, or similar interests. So urbanization basically is a two-way process because it not only involves movement from village to cities and change from agricultural occupation to business, trade, service, and profession, but it also involves change in the migrants' attitudes, beliefs, values, and behavior patterns. And the process of urbanization is very rapid all over the world. Since the time of industrial revolution, right, that is 1800s, after that urbanization has gained its um, importance. Okay, more people have started to come to cities because of these facilities like education, healthcare system, employment avenues, civic facilities, social welfare. These are some reasons why people are attracted to urban areas. See, the Census of India defines some criteria for urbanization. These are population has to be more than 5,000, and the density is more than 400 persons per square kilometer. In some statistics you will find 350 persons per square kilometer also. 75% of the male population engages in non-agricultural occupations. Not only male today, I can say female also. That's most of the female population has also engages in non-agricultural occupations, right? Cities are urban areas with population more than 1 lakh, okay, and metropolises are cities with population of more than 1 million. So we'll study about city and metropolis, their characteristics. So during the industrial era, there was a growth spurt worldwide, right? The development of factories brought people from rural to urban areas, and new technology increased the efficiency of transportation, food production, and food preservation. For example, from mid-1670s to early 1900s, London's population increased from 550,000 to 7 million, which is not a joke. And global favorites like New York, London, Tokyo are all examples of post-industrial cities. As cities evolved from manufacturing based industrial to service and information-based post-industrial societies, gentrification becomes more common. So what is gentrification? Gentrification occurs when members of the middle and upper class enter and renovate cities areas that have been historically less affluent, while the poor urban underclass are forced by the resulting price pressures to leave those neighbors for increasingly portions of the city. So gentrification basically means the posh areas where the upper middle classes, build big houses and industries come in, right? And most probably the poorer sections of the society goes to a sidelined area, and now we can say slum areas. So, globally, 54% of the world's 7 billion people currently reside in urban areas, right? With most urbanized region from North America, that is 82%, followed by Latin America, that is 80%, or Europe at 72. Okay. In comparison, Africa is only 40% urbanized, right? With around 38 million people. Tokyo is the world's largest city by population. So these these questions are very much important. The world's largest city by population is Tokyo. The world's most densely populated cities are now, largely concentrated in global south, that is towards the southern pole, and bigger cities are mostly found, in some decades back, most bigger cities are mostly found in the global north. So in the next 40 years, the biggest global challenge for urbanized population, particularly in less developed countries. So global south generally means the less developed countries. Okay. And it will be an achievement and development that occurs without depleting or damaging the natural environment, and also sustainable development. So what are the basic causes of urbanization? So there are a lot of causes of urbanization, and these are only a few which I have highlighted. Okay, the industrialization, commercialization, social benefits and services, employment opportunities, modernization and changes in the mode of living, rural-urban transformation, etc. These are only the a few points. There are a lot of them, and some are also sub-points. Okay, the industrialization is basically a trend representing a shift from old agricultural economy to non-agricultural economy, or secondary economy, or tertiary economy, which creates a modernized society. Through industrial revolution, more people have been attracted to move from rural to urban areas on account of improved employment opportunities. Industrialization has increased employment opportunities by giving people the chance to work in modern sectors and job categories that aids to stir economic development. So people are basically every one of us will like to be more economically developed, right, or financially developed. So obviously we will seek seek urban areas for our own development or for our financial development. Commercialization. So commerce and trade play a major role in urbanization, and the distribution of goods and services and commercial transactions in a modern era has developed modern marketing institutions and exchange methods that have tremendously given rise to the growth of towns and cities. So yes, commerce played a very important role, and since globalization, liberalization, we have that is the 1990s in India, our cities have grown more, right? So commercialization trade becomes more general. Perception that the towns and cities offer better commercial opportunities and returns. So nowadays, even business is done through online digital platforms, right? Like Amazon or Flipkart or Myntra, So basically, yes, commercialization has played a huge role. There are numerous social benefits also, like so the third point is social benefits and services, and there are a lot of social benefits attributed to life in the cities and towns. Okay, so examples like we have in cities better education facilities, better living standards, better sanitation, better housing, better healthcare, better recreation facilities, and better social life in general. So on this account, more and more people are prompted to migrate into cities and towns to obtain the wide variety of social benefits and services which are unavailable in rural areas. The next one is employment opportunities, which is very common and every one of us know about it. In cities and towns, there are a lot of job opportunities and continually draw people from rural areas to settle in urban areas. So therefore, the majority of people frequently migrate into urban areas to access well-paying jobs, as urban areas have countless employment opportunities in on-development sectors, like public health, education, transport, sports, recreation, industries, business enterprises, etc. So services and industries generate and increase higher value added jobs, and this leads to more employment opportunities, which is very much correct. Then we see that modernization and changes in the mode of living. Yes, the modernization plays a very important role in the process of urbanization. As urban areas become more technologically savvy, together with highly sophisticated communication, infrastructure, medical facilities, dressing code, enlightenment, liberalization, and various other social amenities available. People believe that they can lead a happy life in the cities due to this. Well, the answer, you might know how it is. In urban areas, people also embrace changes in modes of living, namely residential habits, right? Attitudes, dressing, food, beliefs, right? As a result, people migrate to cities, and the cities grow by absorbing the growing number of people day by day. So, one of the most things which have come into light, that is rural-urban transformation. As localities become more fruitful and prosperous due to discovery of minerals, resource exploitation, or agricultural activities, cities start emerging as the rural areas transform to urbanism. So there are so many, areas where there are discovery of minerals, resource exploitation, right? And like, so for example, Duliajan. So Duliajan is an example. It was basically now it is known as oil town, right? Because of the, so much oil and natural gas we find there, and it was one of the first places where oil was first discovered by the British. Okay, so so since then, Duliajan has rose into a major town now. The increase in productivity leads to economic growth and higher value-added employment opportunities. Yes. So in conclusion, this brings about the need to develop better infrastructure. When more urbanization happens, we need to develop better infrastructure and better education institutions, better facilities, better health facilities, better transport system, or transportation networks, roads, and buses and trains, right, and flights. Establishment of banking institutions, ATMs, better governance and better housing, so many things. As this takes place, rural communities start to adopt the urban culture, right? And ultimately become urban centers that continue to grow as more people move to such locations in search of a better life. So how much of the rural characteristics are left in the rural places right now? Because see, everything has been transformed in some way. Like for example, in my own village, which was 5 to 6 years back, it was just a village, and there was not even road facilities. Now it has industries. It is at around 7-8 industries in an industrial. It has an industrial area where there are 7 to 8 multinational industries, and sound road system. Okay, and very good transportation now. And so the cities have grown into urban culture and ultimately urban centers. So this is a very big thing, right? And is a major cause of urbanization. So thank you for listening to this class or video. We will come back with the history of urbanization or urban areas in our next videos. Thank you. Please refer to the notes as much as possible and ask me questions during the class hours. Thank you. Have a safe day.